Hello everyone, welcome to Visit with Nana and Papa. We're videoing this way. Jim's not feeling well. I'm not at my best, but we're going to do this anyway. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. Whether we want to, we're here. Going to talk about whips mostly and the new make-along. So, I started this January 1st. It is going to be the Quill Tee by Tiff Nealon. And I'll tell you more about this in a little bit. But so this has been just started. It's not very far along, but honestly I needed something new and different because I was so frustrated with a lot of other things. I also cast on for Gary Knits Gary Rides Mal, his Cal, for winter, and I messed up my cast on and my gauge. It's too small, but the truth is I really like this gauge in this yarn, and so I really don't want to go to a smaller to a bigger needle, and the pattern is written that you can't just change the pattern, you can't add stitches in the way that it's written. So I'm going to rip these out and I'm just going to try a different pattern altogether. I already put in to support and to get a ticket and to donate, but this just is not going to be the pattern for me. I am going to do a color work mitten of some sort, but I'm not sure what, and I'm probably not going to do it right away because I have so many other things I really want to focus on. So just letting you know that I did try and I failed. And I didn't just fail once. That was my second attempt. My first attempt is still in this bag. And this is a bag by JoJo Bags. I think it's super cute. The yarn is Juniper Moon Patagonia and Loft, and it's supposed to be fingering weight, but this one says it's DK weight, and they knit up the same. Like the stitches have the same stitch definition, and so this went from way too small. Let's see if I can get that other one for us, and I can show you how different. Both fingering weight, both using the same kind of needle, and such a glaring size difference. So I'm definitely not going to use these for that pattern, and but I do really like the stitch definition of this yarn. I really like the thought of using this yarn for the mittens, so I may use this, but I may instead use this for a colorwork sweater because I do like the contrast between the dark purple, which in this light almost looks black, but it really is purple, and I think that would look really nice. So but it's just gonna go back in a bag and go away for a little while I try and figure out what I'm gonna do going forward as far as mitts, because I really would like a new pair of mitts, but obviously not those mitts. And yeah, I have put some effort into this sweater, but for Jim, not as much as I probably should. And that's the reason why, even though I was going to join the thing for Gary, and the fact that it failed is probably a good thing, because now I can really put some major effort into this project. And then my other two sweaters, the one that is getting very close to being done and the one I just started. So this was the Granny Cardigan by Joji Locatelli, and I used her numbers for the cast on and for the increases on the V, and after that I have not. And I'm not going to make any more changes on here. I also used it for the armholes, but I feel the armholes might be a little much. But we'll be picking up and adding stitches, so a little too big of an armhole is better than too small of an armhole, so we'll see how that goes. A little concerned over size, but when we put it on Jim, may try and put a photo in here. It definitely fits, and as many of you may know, it does have a bit of a belly, maybe more than a bit, but so I have started increasing under the armhole to turn it into ribbing, and I'm just going to leave it being ribbing on this side, just so that we can, the increases will still look like it goes with it, but not have to keep track of a pattern, because I already have so many patterns to keep track of as it is. But the cables I used are not the original. I think this one here might be sort of the original, but not really. This is definitely one I pulled in, and the granny cardigan has all the same pattern going across, just one pattern and another pattern all the way around. I altered it on the sides to allow me to have a panel that I can put the ribbing in to add increases for the belly, and I altered it to add this Celtic knot because Jim was very insistent that he wanted a Celtic knot in the pattern. Also, in the granny cardigan, the background is in seed stitch, or no, moss stitch, and Jim did not like the texture of the moss stitch, which made me very happy because I'm not a fan of knitting the moss stitch, so it worked out really well. He likes the background with it being reverse stockinette, so yeah, that's where this one is at. The yarn on this is Knit Picks Swish DK, 100% superwash. I am kind of disappointed in the fact that it's already starting to pill, but it is what it is. He was adamant that that's the yarn he wanted, so that's what he got. If it had been one for me, I would be doing non-superwash just because. But so my last whip that I'm actually working on that's getting lots and lots of attention is the Vibes tee for my granddaughter. Obviously, none of the ends are woven in and seamed in, but I am down on the last color of the third repeat, and so once I finish the dark purple, then I will have these 4 colors to do one more time, and then I will be at the ribbing stage. However, my granddaughter is taller than me, so I may add 2 more repeats of the 4 colors instead of just 1 more repeat. But we're getting really, really close to the end. I may reach out and find out how long she wants that sweater one more time just to be on the safe side. And then this one will be done. And then I will have to find something to either make or find something to buy or something for my younger grandkids. I don't have their sizing, so making something for them is a little bit more difficult. That's it for my whips. I don't have any finished objects. So I want to talk really quick about the make-along. And the make-along is going to run all year long. It's going to be a make-along to stretch. It's called the Stretch Mal 2024, I think is what the hashtag is. To be certain, I will put it in the middle of the screen here. That mal is to just, if you've tried something in the past and it didn't work, try again. Risk failure. If there's something that you have always been afraid of doing, it doesn't have to be craft related. It doesn't have to be fiber related. It could be as simple as you've never made biscuits, but you always wanted to know if you could make biscuits from scratch. Okay, make biscuits from scratch. The only thing that I would like is either on Instagram or on Ravelry, post a photo of the attempt or the trying. If you decided that you wanted to try going hiking and you made it, 20 feet, and you turn around and take a picture of the car and then turn around and take a picture or a video of, there's my car, here's the trailer, I give up. I mean, that counts, right? But something just to show us, hey, this is what we're stretching or what we're trying to stretch for. I don't have fancy schmancy prizes, but I do have stash yarn, and I have plenty of stash yarn. So I have decided that I will be sending at least a skein of yarn every month. I will be doing a random draw, and I will put everyone who has entered on Instagram and everyone who has entered on Ravelry into the drawing. So yes, if you post both places, then you will get an opportunity to win twice. That said, if you post on Instagram and you don't tag me, I don't think Instagram is letting me see all of the hashtags. I'd still like you to use the hashtag so that maybe the hashtag will grow or whatever, but anyhow, it'll run all year long. There's no requirement to finish anything. There's no requirement. It's just, me personally, I have been, because of my depression, I have really been letting myself go physically, mentally. I haven't been doing most of the things that I know make me feel better. Whenever I would come to something knit related or crochet related that I didn't think I could do well, I just didn't do it. I'm letting the voices of my childhood take over and make me afraid of failure, and I don't want to be afraid of failure because I can't grow unless I'm open to failure. I can't move forward unless I'm open to failure. So for now, for today, I didn't make a New Year's resolution. It's not how I'm built. But I just thought, what if we just do it? Stretch our limitations, stretch the boundaries of what we think we're capable of. And let's do it together, because if you do it together, it's even less scary, right? If we're all stretching. Now you can double, triple, quadruple dip if you want. I know that Cocktail Hour at the Coop is doing a make-along, and it's the New to You mal. They've been running it for a long time. You're always welcome to join that mal and double dip over here, because if it's new to you, then you're definitely stretching boundaries. If there's a pattern that you always wanted to do and it happens to be some form of sweater, Tie-Dye Diva on her YouTube channel, Best Day Ever Crafting, her and another lady who, I'm sorry, I don't have her memorized her name, but together they are running a Year of the Sweater mal. So if any of the stretching involves a sweater, by all means include it. And, dip there. I know that mine, you can use stash and use patterns you've had forever. And I'm pretty sure there's a couple that are, use your stash or bust the stash kind of thing. So absolutely include those, as long as you're stretching yourself in some way, doing something you've been putting off because you're afraid of failure, or you've been telling yourself you can't. Let's do the I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to risk failure today. So that's the MOW. Now, for the most important reason and the biggest reason I wanted to come on here is, and I'm going to try really hard not to cry, and that's the reason why you have this very boring screen, which I shouldn't. Maybe I'll put some video up in front so that you have something to look at. But many people came together and donated money to a GoFundMe that a friend raised to help us get a car. And while the goal is to still get a car, the primary goal right now is to move because our rent is too expensive and I can't get a car for cash. I just can't. I mean, I would have to raise, what is it, $15,000 for a 10-year-old vehicle. Like, that's a third of my income annual. No, it's more than that. It's a half of my annual income. I make $30,000 a year, so half of my income to pay for a 10-year-old car that we don't even know if it runs, and that just scares the bejeebus out of me. Anyway, long story short, we're going to move. We don't have an apartment yet, but we are going to move. And so many people donated to that. And we had said that I would draw for a sweater to be made by me. And so I'm going to put the video on the screen here. Of me using an app that you plug in all the names of the people who have donated, and then I hit spin and it spun, and then what showed up was the winner. The winner has been notified, and the winner has picked her colors and told me what she wanted to make, and what she wanted me to do was use any Tiff Nealon pattern, which works out well for me because I have a lot of her patterns, and it works out well because I'm familiar with them, so that's great. I settled on the quill tee. It's one I have not made, and I really wanted to do something different. The colors that I'm going to use for this sweater is somewhere nearby. Here we go. It is Colorwork pattern, and I'm going to be doing the neck and the bottom ribbing and the cuffs in this dark purple, which, here's it more accurate, dark purple. Then the main color is going to be this color, which is, I don't remember the color name, maybe I'll find it somehow, but this is from Ross. Ross, what is your yarn name? I can't think of it right now, but Ross out of Oklahoma. I love, love, love. It's Twisted Ambitions. This is Twisted Ambitions yarn, and I have a swatch of it so you can see how it will knit up. And so it'll have this color, and then this will be the main sweater, but it also has sections of color work. So I'm going to use this color for some of the color work, and this color for some of the color work, and this color for some of the color work to bring them all together. But I think that if this is the white and then this comes in and then this is the main color down below and this has some purple in there, I think it'd just be pretty. I don't know exactly. I haven't charted it all out yet, but it's basically me trying to use a pattern to make a sweater that I don't really have enough yarn for the whole sweater out of the 2 skeins in the way that I want to make the sweater. I really need a 3rd skein, and so since I don't have the 3rd skein, by adding the dark purple for the borders and by using multiple colors for the color work, I might be able to run the color work a little bit longer than is in the pattern, or I might even just change it up a little bit, use a slightly different chart. I haven't decided yet, but definitely I knew that this is 20 grams of yarn, and I knew that that would not be sufficient for the color work, and I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be all white because, well, not white but natural, because there really isn't hardly any natural in this at all. So having a little bit to break it up so that I could use a little bit of sparkle. And Dr. Joyce is definitely a sparkle lady. I think that she sparkles without any sparkle added. She's just such a lovely human, and I am blessed to know her. But anyhow, so that's this. And again, if you didn't win, well, I'm sorry, but thank you to every single person, because that money is allowing us to move to a town where the rent is significantly cheaper, and where, because of the significantly cheaper rent, I should be able to afford a car payment without having to work 2 full-time jobs to do so. And yeah, there aren't enough words in the world. There's just not. I'm still blown away. Yes, that's all I've got. Again, Jim really wanted to be here. He is not doing his best. He hurt himself pretty bad somehow. He doesn't know how. But yeah, send happy thoughts, and if you want. But hopefully we'll both be back and be able to have a chat with you soon. Bye.